and living for the approval of other people is that you give them the power to be able to criticize you, literally. So, um, in the story of Christ, all hail the King of the Jews in their numbers. They went borrowed animals, beasts of burden, and they threw their clothes on the floor for the horse that he rode on to step on. So he was not even the one walking. The animal he used, just like somebody is driving a car, and then you take your clothes off and drop it on the floor for the car to go on it, because you feel that the vehicle the person is riding in is not even touch. You know how much reverence is in that. That is the type of reverence that was given to him publicly by a throng of people, and it's the same group of people in their numbers that echoed crucify him, and that principle has always been the same. So what I do with that personally, you compliment me, you I don't take it to heart. These are some what's it called now? What's the word? Some unpopular opinions. But hear me out. When you live your life in any form, not your entire life, maybe you're in the office, maybe you're in school, maybe you're wherever you find yourself, and you know that's the thing about it. As an adult, when you are the word for it is I think it's the called kissing ass. When you are laughing at a dry joke because the person is your boss and you're looking for a favor from them, or when you are acting good in their books, what they call good, that which you may or may not agree with, but you're doing it because you want to appear a certain way before them. When you do those types of things, it's possible you will get the accolades and the applause and the whatever it is you are going for from them. It's very possible. That depends on who they are as well. Because certain people can smell that thing on you. Certain person, they can smell your pretending. But the ones who can't, you probably get them calling you, you're the best, you're this, you're that. Eye service, again, that's another word for it. The problem with that is when that person critiques you, you're going to get double, quadruple tired. So you're putting up already to impress them. Criticism is painful at every level. But this particular criticism will happen if you've done what you should not do to try to impress this person. So you've gone outside, sometimes your values, yes, the things you believe in at your core, you go outside them to try to impress somebody, and then the person is not impressed. And the person goes ahead and tells you that you are, and you are, and you are. So the hurt is more psychologically devastating. This one is for individual. Now, when it's a group thing, you know how everybody agrees that Chris Brown is the best artist alive. One of these days, so this is a letter to Chris Brown. I don't know whether you want to clip it. One of these days, everybody will agree that he's the worst human being on earth. It happened before. It happened some years ago when he had the Rihanna thing where they beat each other up. And he was the worst human being on earth for 3-4 years. The difference is that young man is I want to use the word a beast. So I don't know how he kept focused on his craft. I don't know how he was able to go through. In certain people, I have some respect for. I say they are beasts. Another one is McMill. McMill had something going around with him and Buff Daddy in the last 3-4 months, 1 year, But he has had one of the best years, almost like a resurging artist. This is somebody who, McMill now, So I don't know how somebody has such a very big scandal and has a very big year at the same time. People like that, it's music. I'm using rap, something as common and something that looks as stupid as rap. I'm using it, show you how much attention I paid to some of these things. He had the he was supposed to have his worst year this year, but this looks like his best year so far. You know, so I'm saying that somewhere along the line, people may decide that Chris Brown is the worst human being to be alive, and that mass, that number of people who, just like Michael Jackson, he goes past you, you pass out, you take you to the emergency unit. Any day, those people who are on the ground decide that they are done lying down, it's time to crucify Michael Jackson. You have the worst 3 years, 2 years of his life if he does not kill him. But those type of things tortures you at the level of your soul. That's the real torture. That one you can't pay yourself away from it. It's not about being rich. You will suffer. You will suffer. I remember a picture I saw one time. It was Victor Osimhen at Napoli when he was having his. I think it was 3 years ago. So the whole place was roaring his name. I think this is very dangerous. I hope this man does not savour this thing. Don't savour it. Don't come. If you open your heart and savour that praise, you're gone. Any day the high praise is turned down to kill him, you know, you will suffer, regardless of how much money you think you have. So the recipe to avoid suffering is don't take the praise. You're the greatest of all time. You're the practice again. It's not something you do instantaneously. Practice it. It's an aspect of an aspect of stoicism also. People are praising you, people are saying you are this, you are that. Don't take it to the head. You know, don't take the praise to the head. That way, when they criticize you, it's just natural. It will not go to your head. Because in the beginning, their opinions did not matter. I used to say we should all know ourselves better than everybody because we are with ourselves every day. You can deceive everybody else, but can't deceive yourself because you're always yourself. You know, and what that is when I'm preparing for something. Let's say it's an examination. Let's say it's something I want to perform. Let's say it's a presentation. At my preparation, I already know if I have killed it or not. Because nobody was doing the preparation with me. I know the volume of work that is required. I know how much of the work I've done. I know how many repetitions of the work I've done. So if I have done it satisfactorily, I already know this presentation will be a good one. Now, when I do the performance, or when I write the exam, let's use an explanation for example. That's the second stage. Personally, at the first phase of preparation, I already know what the outcome should be. I have an idea whether this will go well or not. Now, phase two is when you are in it, when you are writing the examination, when you are doing all that. So if it's a musician, not when you were in your house recording it the first time on your phone when the idea came. This is when you're now in the studio and there's some people in that place. That's phase two. You're now making the thing, you're writing the exam, you're doing the performance. At phase two, again, if it's an examination, you did it alone. You know what you wrote in the exam. You know if you pass the exam or not. It shocks me to know that there are people who still are not able to access their performance until the results come out. And that's when everybody else now knows you are good or bad. So how is it that you're so foreign to yourself that when the rest of the public notices you, that's when you notice yourself. Let me word it better. When the rest of the people discover you, that's when you discover. So you see people celebrating, throwing themselves on the ground. Yes, and I'm wondering, what are you celebrating? Are you surprised that you passed this exam? Are you surprised? Did you not prepare for the exam? Let us say you are not sure of your preparation. Did you not write the exam? So why are you? I feel like people should be celebrating you when they see the results. And it is the group that counted you out. Yes, I'm telling you. I don't know how you want to take this information or take what I'm saying. But if somebody knows your capacity and knows you're prepared, and they check in with you uh, um, during the build up, and you tell them we are good, we are fair, we are good, the exam will go well, and you do that, and then the results come out, and they are jumping up and kicking the air. Okay, I don't know. It's not a negative thing anyway, but for me, if I will score a pass mark, I will know. If I will score an excellent mark, I will know. From my preparation, certain people want to go a step further and do the thing before they can tell. Then the last group, they are the ones who need to see the results. And what's the results you're looking for is somebody else's opinion. That's what that makes you celebrate yourself. That's my problem. That's where I have a problem. So you now release the music. It's now the feedback you get from the music. That's where you now judge. So somebody gives you a microphone and asks you, "What's your best project? What's your best album?" You now answer that question from a place of how much sales, which album did the most sales, what people's opinion on your work. That's not correct, though. That's not correct. When you made the art, when you made the music, when you made the um work, in the making, all the answer is there. How you felt, how true to yourself you were when you made the work, how unfiltered, how um how much of you was expressed in the making. That's where the best or not should be decided from. It should be purely your opinion. Shouldn't be anybody's opinion, should be not be inside it. You know. Again, what I'm discussing is not there's no perfect anybody. All of us are trying to figure it out. Nobody has all the answers. It is all practice. When you listen to these mental models and you agree with them, you now start practicing to love yourself by yourself. You don't let somebody celebrate you first before. Human beings are mean. The people who are lovely are around too, but they're not as much as the mean ones. People's opinion. You see a celebrity does not respond to comments. When somebody says something negative, then they now come to the comments and start warning the person. And then you're feeding negative comments because the people who are texting you, these people are your fans. They wish you reply. You will not reply. It's just somebody now roasts you. You now come there and tell the person to leave your page. And that's the first time you responded. And guess what happens? Okay, people who want attention will go ahead and keep roasting you. So that you go ahead and keep replying. Because they want your attention. So we've trained ourselves to respond to negative energy. And that's not good enough. That's not good enough. So the idea is for us to uh, have confidence in our work, and by extension, confidence in ourselves by ourselves. So I told the lady, you look good, you look very good. She said, I know. I was very happy when I heard that. I said, this is beautiful. This woman has confidence in herself, in her looks. Let me just use that. She knows she's beautiful. What I'm saying does not add or is a compliment, but I just felt very good when I heard her say, I know. You wish, don't worry, this is to sound some cocky to you now because you're a man who has one small complex issue. Until it's your daughter. You wish your daughter knows she's beautiful. You wish your daughter does not need the opinion of external validation to feel beautiful. That's when what I'm saying makes sense. But you probably heard this the first time and you felt somehow, why would that girl be like that? She has pride. It's not pride. If it's your daughter, you'll be happy she did that. You'll be happy she does not need somebody else to tell her she's beautiful to feel beautiful. Like women like that, very beautiful, but they want somebody to tell. They want affirmation from us, external affirmation. As soon as it leads them to now start throwing themselves at people, yes. And now becomes a sickness. Creates a loop that is, you know. So that's the point. If your work is good, at the preparation level, you already know because of how it made you feel. You wrote a book, and you go through, you feel good about the book. To where you now show somebody, how far, what do you think about this book? And the person goes and tells you this is beautiful. It doesn't matter if he sells 2 copies. I'm telling you. Again, I don't have it figured out. Sometimes I'm also stuck on, go to the page, this page. What you go to look at the page that you are listening to this thing from. See what this, know how many subscribers are there. How many views do we have per video on the page? And somebody may think that the best video here is the one that had the most views. That's not correct. When you go through all the material we have here, your life will change before you get to the 10th one. Something will happen in your body. All of the work, each time I come out to express myself like this, I go as unfiltered and as undiluted, as honest as possible. I reach into myself, to find the truth and express it. Even when I exist on the other side of the truth. Yes. Sometimes things I say criticizes me myself, but I'm expressing the truth in the most undiluted as much as possible. So my message is do the work. go all in your preparation. And that's where you should draw your esteem from. You put the work out and somebody thinks the work is trash. Look at Liwen dropped an album. People are saying it's a trash album. That's people's opinion. What does Liwen think? That's what's important. So if he has always been somebody who likes to listen to feedback first, that man is going to be broken for the next couple of that's a very big name. And you know how sensitive this people get. The more of a celebrity you make yourself, the more sensitive you become. The more you can be hurt by public opinion. You know. And he sold all of his catalog and dropped this one, probably to try to build another catalog. And they're saying it's trash. Guess how you feel if you're somebody that always uses external feedbacks to validate his work. You see. So let's come out of that practice if we do that. When you dress up, you don't need to ask your friend if you look good. What if your friend is jealous and doesn't want you to shine while you step out and take all the attention and tells you don't look good? What about that? I'm not saying it must be negative all the time, but I mean, there's a mirror there in front of you. There's a way they set it up, self. There's something you can put in front, you can see. You know, confidence is beautiful. I think it's one step above colon. When you put confidence on, it's something it creates an environment around itself already. But then confidence comes from keeping promises you made to yourself. Comes from preparation, doing what you should do preparation wise. And when you now make the work, there's no point. Anybody's opinion doesn't matter. You're a human being. Even if you fell short in the results, it does not matter. You're a human being. That's what a human being is. We're described, I think it's in the book of Revelation in the Bible, with clay feet. You know, so it's all the grandeur, and then you see a weakness. Look at Michael. Who are the best? Who are the greatest human beings you think have lived on earth? Read their story. Then you see an Achilles tendon somewhere, Achilles heel somewhere. You see a gap. That's the human there. You know, that's the whole thing. So trying to be perfect all the time. Be perfect in your preparation. Be perfect in your action, and then people's opinions and feedbacks. Lock that completely out. I mean, including compliments. Lock compliments out. It don't matter. Some people will try to play the game of taking compliments and removing, and you're struggling with it all the time now because they are complimenting you. You're soaking it in, and you're taking it in, and then you're fighting people who are criticizing you. You know, so you even forget that some people say they liked the work. You are now brooding over what's happened now. Why this person thought you get? You know how they say you have a whole cloth that is white, and there's a small yellow speck in the center, and everybody points at that speck and says this white is stained, and you're wondering why, and now you're battling with the stain. You see, that's how the negative energy is. So it soaks every other thing up. Yes, it draws everything into it. It's like a black hole. It doesn't get filled up. It takes all the energy and soaks it up and takes it away and sends you into depression. And then it stays there with you. It doesn't leave you. Keep you there until you kill yourself. Yes. People will drive people to the point where they kill themselves. Up to the point of suicide. You know. And the journey started with listening to appraisals and applause and all of that. No. Man, your voice is so good. Thank you. I say thank you for courtesy, but you should already know your voice is good as a singer. I sing. I used to sing. You know, if I'm about to sing, I already know I'm about to get attention. I already know. Once I open my voice to sing, and people start reacting. Well, everything you're saying is not new to me. I already know. I've been me. I've been with myself for the longest. I grew up with myself. You're the one who's finding out that I have a good singing voice. Then if somebody now wants to drop an opinion from a place of jealousy and says, this voice, you're making noise, or this your voice is somehow. I also know that my voice is good. So the opinion you gave is your opinion. You have the right to. I've done it before with people, criticize people. So you're criticizing what you're hearing because, of course, sometimes one man's meat and another man's poison. So my voice could be poison to you at the time, but it doesn't matter what you say. My voice is not bad. I already know my voice is like so. That type. So again, the technique is don't take the praise, don't take the hype, don't believe the hype when it's around you. So when the criticism comes, it doesn't matter. One man that practices this a whole lot is okay. No, he doesn't completely practice. I wanted to say Charleston White. I wanted to say that, but the man takes praises though, but he doesn't really expressively take them. He has more love than hate. Yeah, but he plays the game of hate. He plays the villain. So he's already prepared for the hate. He knows what to do with hate already. But it's more love going in that man's direction than hate. You know. So yeah, so overall, let's practice um being ourselves as much as possible. Forget about trying to please somebody. That person will hurt the hell out of you when you finish trying to please them. And then they say everything you did is rubbish. You will feel much more pain than somebody who did what they felt like doing, what they felt was the best and was criticized. Don't expend all that energy on another human being. That energy you're expending on that thing can be used to for that. What's the word? Civilization, yes. I usually use Elon Musk as an example. I think I talk about him every time because of the impact man has had, or the how audacity. Let me use that word. His audacity. His audacity. As one man, he tells you what one just tells you what one man can do. Everything he has, all of us have now. The same, the organs, the brain, everything is the same. It's just that we are different people because of environment and genetics. When you see what is possible from another man, then stretch yourself, and see how far you can go. And don't let somebody dilute what you're doing, what they think. People are carrying all kinds of rejection, all kinds of negativity, inferiority spirit, all kinds of things. If you don't allow people to mix into you so much that you look like everybody. It means like you look like nothing. When you look like everybody, you look like nothing. You can only look like yourself. And then people will love you and hate you. You are an object of art. Not everybody can appreciate art. There are things you look at. People who live in the world of abstract art, they go and see things that just two strokes on the wall and they stay there and they are awestruck by one thing. And you come there and you're like, what is this spell type talking about? You cannot understand, appreciate the art. Abstract art. There are people who their life is all about abstract art. And a lot of the world don't even understand what that thing is. They want like to see beautiful things. When they look and see ugly, like some of the things Kanye West, some of Kanye West's designs, most of them are abstract. That's the way they are. His shoes, as if they are ugly. But there's this beauty in that ugliness that a couple of people will appreciate. But there are other people that would understand it and they'll never understand it. And it doesn't matter. What matters is you did the work, how you wanted to do it in the most raw, undiluted, true to yourself form. And you released it. Then the people who will appreciate you to line up and exchange money for that thing. But it's a work of art. It is available to be criticized or loved. It's not for and the criticism, you're not taking it in to do anything with it. You criticize people. That's what my point. Sometimes you criticize people to criticize them. You're not criticizing them to make them improve. You're criticizing them to criticize to make an opinion and move ahead with your life. And you forget to even criticize somebody 5 minutes ago. So imagine you hanging on to one criticism you heard somewhere 2 hours later, 1 week later. When you yourself, when you criticize people, you don't even remember you did it after 5 minutes. You see. So I'm pointing you to some things. So look at them. And when you listen to this video, even though you found it on a public platform, you listen to it alone. So I am talking to you with your headphone on, listening to what I'm saying. Talking to you. So look at what you can look at. Again, I don't have it figured out. Nobody has it figured out. But I'm calling your attention to have a look and see. Protect yourself. Protect your work.